just another beam in the track.
Hi, it's Monday.
You know what that means? Yeah, that's never going to pick up. That's never going to catch on. But tonight we're back after 2 weeks. Attractions Ultimatum. Going to bring everyone in because tonight we're talking Pirate Adventure or Slammer. And I think it's the first time I've never known which way it's going to go. So first we have got Sarah and James of the Trekking Tailors.
Hello.
How you doing?
Everyone's well. Good, thanks. How are you lot?
Yeah, good, yeah.
All right, yeah.
And next we have got, who have we got? Let's see what the, I've got the overlays here, that's why. Next we have got Kieran Quinn standing in for Thrillwave this week from Scream Effects Co. How you doing, Kieran?
Hello.
Yay!
So hear me?
We can hear you. And next we've got from Theme Park Guy, Josh Sutton. How you doing?
Hello.
And last but not least, he's done all his research for this week. It's Daryl Dazamorgan. How you doing, Daryl?
All right, yeah.
Still eating.
Still eating, yeah.
Still eating.
It's important. It's a busy week.
Yes.
Pirate Adventure versus Slammer. I'll start at the top left. I'm doing a start with Pirate Adventure. James or Sarah, did you ever ride it?
No,
No,
I don't believe so.
but we've seen the POVs, and it looks a bit familiar to others.
A bit familiar, yeah.
Comparable to several other rides I've been on in other theme parks.
It looks. I mean, from the stuff I was watching, I mean, to me, today's about theming versus thrill. You know.
We talked about that a bit before. It'd be interesting.
I actually do agree with that.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
Because these rides are not really comparable, are they?
No. I mean, unless something happens in Pirates Adventure that we don't see
Yeah.
on there, the theming looked a little bit more. There's a lot more theming than Slammer seemed to have, but obviously it's just a dark ride where Slammer
Don't
is.
say it's just a dark ride.
Well, it's a dark ride.
Dark ride.
It's a water ride.
It's a water ride, yes. And then Slammer is obviously more of a thrill ride.
Yeah, I guess it kind of. I'm just summing up already. I guess it kind of comes down to you need a balance of rides in a theme park, don't you? And if you were building your own theme park, you couldn't just have thrill rides. You would need some dark rides as well.
Mm.
I agree on that one.
Yeah.
Now, if we can hear Kieran, has Kieran got any opinions on Pirate Adventure? No, you can't hear him.
No.
I'll unmute him.
Well, mute himself.
Mike's not working, apparently.
Need to type on a keyboard and do some signing, but this is communication.
Right, we'll switch over to Joss while I'm sorting that out anyway.
So,
but Joss,
technical difficulties,
because
we will
Joss
get
has
there.
got some theming from the actual ride, haven't you, Joss?
Yeah, it's pride and place in my garage. But yeah, I have ridden Pirate Adventure. I have quite fond memories of it. I've not, obviously it closed in around 2015, so it's obviously been a while, but I used to go to Drayton quite a lot because mainly because it was cheaper than Alton Towers. So I often went there and American Adventure and that kind of places. But yeah, I remember it being a very good dark ride. I think it, as most UK dark rides tend to go, they tend to get worse as the years go on. They start to go into more and more disrepair, which is probably what ended closing it in the end. But yeah, I think it was probably at the time, probably one of the UK's best dark rides, really.
When did you go? Did you go when you were a lot younger, or did you go like?
I think I was having a look. I think I did ride it in the last year it was open. But I think before then it was childhood.
Yeah. Oh, bless.
So was that an auction you got those at?
I'm just trying to look at the comments because they're coming up.
Yeah, they did a auction 3 years ago, I think. Where they were auctioning off a load of the merch, even some of the boats. I don't think the boats actually sold because I don't think people would know what to do with the boats. But
they're a lot heavier than people think they are.
Yeah, I got like some of the little bits. Like I got this like a little I don't even know what you say, like a little, almost like a pocket watch. But I don't know where that's from necessarily. I think it's just probably some theming that the animatronics had on them, like in the pocket or whatever. But yeah, it's I can't remember if it was. I think it was a public auction, from what I remember. We got invited down to go and be actually in the park, but I believe the general public could make sort of quote unquote online bids, or at least say I will buy it for X amount, and if people in the actual room didn't pay that much, it would go to them.
It would have been quite good if you got an animatronic on the ride.
Yes, yes.
Quite scary though.
Yeah, one did get one, because they had the scene that's essentially like the dog with the keys scene in Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's a goat.
Yeah.
So they haven't copied it at all.
No. Well, I can go into more detail in a bit if you want to jump to someone else, but
Kieran, can we hear you now?
Hopefully so. Can you hear me?
Yes!
Oh God! Oh, I hate technology so much.
What do you think about? What are your thoughts about Pirates of Adventure?
Well, I've never experienced it, which is really, really sad. But from everything that I've seen of it, obviously it's Pirates of the Caribbean sort of UK ripoff, but it just it seems to be like one of those dark rides we're missing in the UK. There isn't really a decent pirate dark ride in the UK. So with obviously the unit still standing and operational, maybe in the future the development plan to bring something new back would be quite nice for that. And so yeah, I really wish I had experienced it though as a kid, because it would have been fun, I think.
See, I'd have thought you'd have got inspiration from it with, I know you shouldn't refer, but from Darkest Depths, I thought you'd have got a bit of inspiration. But I thought you actually rode it for some weird reason.
Yeah, no, sadly not. I missed out on it, which is a shame, but yeah.
There's the
goat.
Oh, there's the goat.
That's the
Okay.
goat.
Okay, so I'm going to talk to the biggest water
Look
ride
at
fan
that.
I know. Daryl, do you want to? Have you got any thoughts about Pirate Adventure?
I've never done it. Never did it.
Oh no!
Never
Hey,
did it.
another one.
No, never did it. I did hear about it actually closing down 2017. But I wish I did now. It looked incredible. The theming and that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm talking about theming outside the ride.
Doesn't much outside.
But the only ride really that I know about is obviously Slammer, but I've not done that either. I didn't do that either. But no, it was incredible theming outside. Theming that you really, I'd say really, on the Wicker Man scale at Alton Towers in terms of theming wise. And it's still there today, actually, the theming, yeah.
Is it where the bumper cars are now?
Just to the left of it.
Next to it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just to the left of it.
So
These
the
little-
outside theming is still a little bit piratey.
Yes, yeah.
Kind of
Needs to be a little animatronic.
Yeah.
Needs to be a
Yeah,
little
that's it. Yeah, with the
on the left.
doors.
Because when I went to Drayton last year for their poor Halloween event, I was where the bumper cars were, and some of that pirate theming was actually still in where the bumper cars are. You just see it dotted around and stuff on the roof and all that kind of stuff. It looks amazing, I'll tell you now. What they've done to it really does.
Have you got any thoughts? I'll start with you because you haven't ridden either of them. Have you got any thoughts on Slammer before I go through everyone else? Like from what you've seen of it.
Terrifying.
So you wouldn't have gone in it anyway?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have done it anyway, to be honest with you. It'd be a ride that I'd definitely give a miss. But I do know, though, that it was a very popular ride at Thorpe Park, and still to this day, it's still there, really. I mean, it looks incredible. It really does. I remember watching it again on Theme Park Worldwide's meetup event that they did, Halloween meetup event they did a few years ago, and some of them went on that, and And I thought, you know, it looks amazing. It really does. The theming sort of side of the ride is a bit sort of on the offside, but in terms of the ride itself, it looked amazing when it was going round and very terrifying.
I could say a few things, but I'm not going to add to it. So it's down to these
Well,
guys at the minute, and
I'm not going to add to anything either.
No.
But... Josh, did you want to? I'm going to ask you about Slammer in a minute, but you were going to carry on about Pirate Adventure quickly.
Yeah, so I know people have already said it about it being a bit of a Pirates of the Caribbean rip-off, but I think that was tactical from Drayton. If you think it opened in 1990, Euro Disneyland opened in 92. And I reckon it was essentially, you don't need to go across outside the UK. We've got, you know, Disney quality attractions right here. So come here, stay local and don't go elsewhere. So I think it was very much, quite a tactical decision to go to almost copy it.
And what do you think about
Slammer?
In terms of Slammer, horrendous ride.
Would you say its uniqueness gives it an edge?
It was unique, but
there are only 2 of them in the world, weren't there?
Yeah, for good reason. It's a unique ride system. It's a unique, experience, but it's not exactly. It was not exactly comfortable. Maybe because of my build, because I'm quite largely built. Because you essentially had restraints that were like claws that just strapped on, pulled down.
It was meant to make you feel like you were going to fall out of your seat. That's what it was designed to.
But you also did feel like you would.
Yeah.
They weren't the best restraints.
But yeah, as soon as you went upside down, you were pushing entirely on that restraint. And for me, especially for my build, it was extremely uncomfortable every time I did it. So I think I've maybe done it 2-3 times at most, but mainly because everyone else that I was with wanted to go on it. And it's not a long cycle, so I was like, 2 minutes of discomfort, I can deal with that.
I agree with Dave's adventures here, giving pandemonium vibes.
Yeah, I hate that as well.
Yeah, it's for me, it's the similar sort of emotion, but sorry, it
was quite well known for breaking down. That's why I've got this photo here of the sign in front of it. Breaking down. That was quite a regular occurrence. I don't know if that works for or against it, really, with how painful the ride was. But Kieran, you got to go on it, didn't you? Because you worked at Thorpe Park.
Yes, I've been on it, I think, about 5-6 times. And I agree with Josh. It is a horrible experience for pain. Those restraints, they're just awful. Because your mid-torso was just free to do whatever. You had like a lap bar and then these little things. And it just was not comfy in the slightest. But still great fun, because the experience that it gave you was like no other experience on any other ride. There's a lot of different rides that do the motions that just spin you, but nothing quite like that. I'm a slight sidetrack. My favourite story of the ride, when I got to go on it, I was doing a VIP day with some guests, and for some reason, it hadn't opened all season of this year. It opened for like a week, and I think it was the last week of its operation ever. And it just reopened that day, and I just turned to the guys and went, just to let you know, this ride probably isn't going to exist much longer. So if you want to go on it, get your experience in now. And we did, and they're so glad they did, because they loved it. And I think everyone who came off the ride went, oh wow, that was kind of fun, because it's a scariness as well of it. It does hang you upside down, and you spin towards the ground upside down.
Yes.
And in pain. it's so strange. It's such a strange experience, but it was such a great one, I think.
Yeah, Dave's Adventure says is Rush the same. Yeah, it's the same kind of restraints as Rush, apart from you have these little things over your shoulders, just able to cover your shoulders, but they don't go much further. So they said it was meant to simulate falling out of the ride.
But the difference in the marks, I think they are pretty much the same restraint. Is Rush doesn't make you go upside down.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. They work very well for just that forward and backwards motion, keeping you secure. But actually, when you're upside down, that's a different experience.
Yeah.
So, James and Sarah, what do you think about what you know about it? Because I don't think you've ridden Slammer.
Well, I was going to ask what what differentiated it from, say, any? I think you've already answered it, but say any other ride that goes upside down like a pirate ship, but goes upside down. Because for me, watching the videos, I didn't get that sense of the restraints and whatever else. It just looked quite dull, to be honest. If I'm going to be honest, but that's only from watching the ride videos.
It had that uniqueness of, rather than an inversion that's quite quick and nippy, obviously, because you're at the end of this quite long arm. It did have that quite unusual sort of, almost like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like you're being essentially picked up and flipped. Like,
I don't know if the photos do it justice, but it was actually quite tall. Like, I know.
Yeah, it was.
When you're on it, it was quite a tall structure.
How
Well, that's it. When it starts spinning, it's about another 15 foot above the actual support towers. So it does throw you.
Wow.
So if you brought that back, two things I would do to improve that ride is when you're going up, I'd have that carriage sliding down. And when you
that'd be cool.
down,
Oh, God.
and I'd also then have the two carriages rotating as well as you're going around. So,
James, I love that idea, but please, for the love of God, if they ever did, new restraints. I don't think I'll handle that with those current ones.
Can I mention mine?
But I think
you can mention it like you want.
would be the better one.
I know we really shouldn't judge it on my input, but for me, I've been on the slammer but not on the other ride. And for me, it was a case of I felt poorly after going on it. And even if momentarily went upside down, I felt poorly. And even now, I watch the POV just to be sure. It is definitely one of the rides I've been on. And even thinking about it, I'm like,
flashbacks.
So you have to forgive me if I'm pulling funny faces, but it's just the sheer motion of it and going directly upside down. Just, it throws me off. So anyone in the comments wants to put anything about Slammer as well, you're quite welcome to. So thank you for taking up your time on Monday to come view us as well.
I don't know if
Stacey, was that a Bush took a trial?
as bad as one, yeah, I would say.
I'd rather take on Bush took
this
a
looks
trial.
like it's going to be uniqueness versus theming.
Yeah.
More than thrill versus theming.
Yeah.
Why did they take this out? Was it because it was unreliable?
There are only 2 of them in the world, weren't there? So they couldn't get the parts.
Yeah, there was only 2 in the world. I think they were made. Was it Huss, wasn't it? This one.
Something like that.
And
like
they basically couldn't secure the parts anymore, and Huss just went, "We're not making them." They were experimental models. They were. I think the other one was in America. Correct me if I'm wrong. Someone else will know. But they basically just went, "We're not supporting it anymore." And Thorpe kept it going in-house for as long as they could. But I think the costs just outweigh the reliability. And then, you've got future expansions to think about. Is it worth keeping this ride that's a quirk?
Yeah.
Up and ready for once a year, or invest in new that can sustain all year. So,
has anyone got any idea why they built it in the first place? Like, how did Thorpe hear about it? Because there's only one in America.
it's a good question. Does anyone know?
I don't know if you or Joss would know.
To do with, was it to do with the some sort of promotion or something in America that Thorpe had the idea? I think it was something to do with some sort of promotion or something, if I remember rightly. I'm not 100% sure, but
I don't know. I literally don't know.
Was it not Fanta? It was like a drink, wasn't it?
yeah, I think it was. It was to do with a promotion.
Oh,
A soft
no.
drink promotion.
Oh, was it near the banana boat, wasn't it? Where someone sponsored the banana boat.
There you go. Kaz
Maybe.
is going to convince the whole panel right there. Pirate Adventure is good.
There's NF Attractions as well that said that he went on it when he was younger as well, bless him. So thank you for joining us as well.
I don't know.
There's quite a few that have been on the Pirate one and not on Slammer, so it's quite interesting.
Before we get to this,
I'm just going to put it out there that if there was only 2 in the world and they were not continued, there's a reason they weren't continued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd vote that was a selling point, though. That you go, well, it's so unique. Is that the better?
Yeah, but why not continue them on then?
I also think the footprint for him is quite massive for a flat ride as well, considering it doesn't look it. But
it's like long.
But you need that space underneath the platforms.
Yeah.
So above it's nothing, but on the ground it is quite a substantial space.
Did you get much airtime on it?
When it was going fast, because it kind of went really fast,
Yeah.
And then, well, you see the POV, it slowed down and went the other way.
Yeah.
Perpendicular forces, guys. Like, I can't say anything.
You sat at the back, you did, because you got so much. You were obviously higher up.
Yeah.
Kieran,
Yeah,
did
you got a little bit, didn't you?
Did you ever see anyone be sick on one train, on
Oh!
one carriage?
Oh,
No. During my time at Thorpe, it was like I say, it was only open for about a week, so we didn't see it off and running.
I saw it operating in 2016 a couple of times on the hot days, and then closed a couple of times here and there. But when I visited in 2016, a little bit. But yeah, that's how I remember the Slammer really. But when it was operating, kind of thing.
Oh, I got to admit, a bonus for the hot days, because technically it's a giant fan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It fan you when you were stood in the queue line.
Could put some water jets underneath it. It could be a water ride as well.
Yeah.
It could have been brilliant.
I feel like I know how everyone's going to vote, but
Yeah.
I don't
But I
know if
also
anyone
feel
in the
like-
live chat wants to put something forward before we do the vote to convince people what to vote for. But has anyone got anything nice to say about Slammer that they want
Well,
to convince people to vote for it?
I also
Well-
feel like, I mean, Slammer is still there. It's just SBNO, standalone operational, for those who don't know. And I think there's a reason for that. I think it may return one day. They may have a big golden plan to bring it back because it is the only one left now. And to have that on the books is a good thing.
I don't think that
With it being so unique.
See, I disagree. I totally disagree. I think that because you've got that mirror maze thing there, haven't you, at the moment? That
Yeah, you've got Labyrinth next door, yeah.
Yeah. And I got a big feeling because apparently, from what I've been hearing anyway, for the last few visits I've done to Thorpe last year, there are plans really to remove that mirror maze and all that area and to redevelop that area for a new ride. I'm not too sure what ride's going to be there, but apparently going to redevelop the whole area and knock it all down.
Could
And
be.
that's a
Could
big
be.
area as well. Yeah,
Well, I
I've
don't
got
want to
a
start
big
spreading these
feeling
rumours if
that
they're not
after
true, Daryl.
Exodus- I'm hoping it's a log flume.
So, I don't know how one-sided this is going to be. Do we want to go for the vote now, guys, or do you want to discuss a bit more, or you made up your mind?
Well,
I honestly don't know which one I go for.
It's a difficult one.
Yeah.
I'll start with Daryl
I've
because
made
he
up
seems to
my
know
mind
his stuff.
already. I've made my mind up already.
Okay,
even
Daryl, you
before
go
this
first. Are
game.
you picking Slammer or are you picking Pirate Adventure?
Well, Pirates Adventure, even though I've not done it, looks great for theming on the outside and also in the inside by the pictures. Slammer, less on theming, but a really good thrill ride. And I'm going to base it really on the fact that it's a park that's still running and a park that that is, but it's still at the park. So I'm voting for Slammer.
You vote for Slammer?
Slammer?
Slammer's got a
Well,
vote.
after that, I thought you were totally going to go the other way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just to reiterate for people at home that don't know this, and I'll show you the bracket in a minute. But actually, I'll do that now quickly. He's right,
Yeah.
it's Slammer, and I'll ask Joss in a minute. But
Can I
at
ask?
the moment, whoever wins this is going to go into the semi-final against Corkscrew and Black Hole. So it's going to be a hard semi-final for whichever one wins.
Wow.
What did you want to say before I talk to
I
Joss?
was going to say, can I ask people in the comments if they want to put the pirate ride with a P and a S for the Slammer? Is that?
Well, they can
is that a
write the whole
strange
word
thing
out.
to
I
ask?
can
Oh, you
read.
write the
I
whole
can read
one,
nowadays.
but
Yeah.
it's entirely to you. But
Joss, have you got? I don't know. What are you going to vote for? Do you want to go through the pros and cons of each? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I know which one I'm going for, but Pirate Adventure, really good, solid, well themed dart ride. Slammer had a unique experience, but again, the uncomfortable nature of it and also the lack of any real particular theming means I've got to take theming over anything. It's more unique as well. It's Slammer is an off the shelf, although they didn't make many of them. It is an off the shelf model, whereas at least the Pirate Adventure, even though it is heavily inspired by Pirates of the Caribbean, it did all have unique animatronics, and that was all custom done. So I've got to go for that. Really, I think Pirate Adventure.
Yeah.
We're not going to have a tie break this week either.
Why not?
It's got enough number of people.
We shall see.
Kieran, do you want to talk us through your decision?
No. It's a difficult one because obviously for me, and especially my industry, theming is the top box. It's got to be there with the unique ride experience, and you've got to have a good mixture of both. There's no point having a rubbish ride and filling it with the world's best theming. If the ride's not up to much, the theming won't work, and vice versa, which makes it a difficult one because Pirates Adventure obviously has a lot of good theming in there, and the transit system is a standard boat system, so you can't say much for that. But it also is a family ride. A lot of people from 1 year old to 89 years old and older can ride that thing and enjoy that thing. There's something for everyone there. Slammer, on the other hand, mostly just for the teenage market and those old enough and still stupid enough to go on things that are going to be painful and hurt. However, it is unique, and it's still there to this day after 8 years or so of SBNO. I think it could return, and I think it could return spectacularly. Maybe not at Thorpe, but maybe sold elsewhere, because otherwise, why not just scrap it? Whereas Pirates Adventure, they have got rid of a lot of it. They sold it off. Well, I know people in the chat have also got parts of it. So that won't come back. But also, going back to originality, yes, Pirates Adventure is a copy of a Disney attraction, but then, as Josh said, it could be because Euro Disney's opening. Hey, stay in the UK. But I'm going to go for Slammer because I just think it's the most unique experience on paper. And I think in terms of ride experience, that's unique. But that's a personal thing for me. I think if I was voting for families, the other way. But me personally, much rather go on Slammer.
Do you think if Slammer came back, it would lead to more parks installing it? Do you think there'd be more models of it?
I think if it was proved to come back reliable and more comfortable of a ride experience, obviously the restraints would need to be reworked because they are not comfortable. Maybe something a bit like B&M over the shoulder vests might be a better experience for that. I think possibly. I don't see why not. I think it is a unique experience, and there's no reason why you couldn't put one indoors. So a big European park could do something with that and have it on a multi-level. There's options out there, I think.
So that's 2 for Slammer and 1 for Pirate Adventure. James and Sarah, who would like to go first?
Can you just show me the Matrix again, please? Because it might have an influence.
The photos I've got?
No,
the
brackets to the rest of the rides.
The brackets, the rest of the rides.
It's just going to make...
Oh.
So we've got Corkscrew and Black Hole that are going to be...
Corkscrew and Black Hole have already gone through this series.
Yeah.
There's going to be a 3-way when we get to the semis.
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
Right, I've got my decision. I'm going to let James go first.
Oh, right. Okay. So for me, I generally don't have a preference. So I'm going to go on. If these 2 rides were reopened right now as they were, which one would I want to go on? Knowing what is out in other theme parks, it would be Slammer. I would say Slammer.
Is that what you're voting for?
Yeah, I'm voting for Slammer because it's so unique. Where I can go to other parks and do a Pirates ride. That's what I'm going with.
He's taken the wind out of Sarah's sails now because now it's over anyway. I'm still going to ask Sarah.
It's just seeing the joy on Daryl's face. He's probably like, about it as well. It's just absolutely brilliant. I love it.
So Sarah, what do you think?
My vote would have been for Pirate Adventure. I am a theming girl.
Yeah.
I've said all along that theming is more important to me than thrills. I've got to back that up and agree with it. And yes, it's a copy of a Disney attraction, but it's a dark ride in the UK. There aren't enough good dark rides in the UK. And looking at the graphics at the Matrix going forward, there are not many family rides on that Matrix. So this, as Kieran says, is a ride suitable for all ages. And to make a successful theme park, you need attractions for all ages.
Yes.
This is the first time
Yes, I agree.
either the Taylors or Thrillwave. This is the first time either we've had any of the couples vote differently.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Just show that Slammer is. I didn't know which way it was going to go, and then we had this whole conversation. I thought, oh god,
Cannonball.
everyone's slating Slammer, and then
Right at the beginning, when I watched the POVs, I thought Pirates all the way through. And then obviously, as the discussion's gone on, I thought if they were there right now, and I could only go on one, assuming I didn't have motion sickness, but I could only go on one, which of those two would I actually want to do? And knowing I could only do one, that's the one I thought was the one for me.
Yeah. I think I really like it as well because the previous one we were talking about uniqueness, and obviously the Slammer is quite a unique thing again. So it's got quite a competition going off there. Is that just me? It's something I've noticed now. I'm like, oh,
that's like
we'll have to wait till the next
so far,
one.
I think that's the big moment of the series where James has voted for Slammer because everyone just seemed to be slating it, and then suddenly Daryl and Kieran voted for it. It's like, hang on, and then it went through. I just wasn't expecting it.
What would you have picked?
I would have picked Pirate Adventure. I didn't want to say before they voted, but Pirate Adventure was the best ride Drayton Manor ever had. I still think that to this day. I don't know if Joss would agree.
It may well be as well. If I'd have got on it, my vote might have changed. But
yeah, same with me as well.
It's
Yeah, let's have a look at the comments then. So
Yeah,
far,
people
thank you
aren't
so
happy.
much, guys, for everyone watching.
Robbed.
Oh, no, attractions. Pirates Adventure has been robbed from the win.
Yeah, if you just tuned in. You've missed the show, but Slammer's just gone through. I don't know if I'm not making anyone vote for anything specifically, but I don't think Slammer's going to the final.
But,
oh no!
No, I don't think it will.
Corkscrew, and we've got the Black Heart and the Slammer now. Just think about like.
To be fair, out of those two, I don't think either the Pirates Adventure or the Slammer would have beaten either of the other two.
Yeah.
I disagree.
but Stacey, which one would you have picked?
I would have picked.
Are you going to say Slammer now? After all that?
Actually, no, I wouldn't have picked Slammer just because I've been on it. And like so I said, to this day, I still get the motion sickness from it all. But I'd have been quite happy with building, like, obviously the memories for all ages, exactly how Kieran worded it. It was beautifully spoken, that. But literally, just how he worded it, saying memories for all with all the families, it would have been a pirate one. But
I see, but you've got a memory for all time because even thinking about Slammer makes you want to be sick.
Yeah, but it's not a positive.
You would have gone on that ride eating a Twix.
So next week we're going to have Thrillwave back and David, and we're going to be deciding between Darren Brown's Ghost Train and Ramsey's Revenge, which I don't know. Again, I've gone into this with everyone slating Slammer and it won. So I know a lot of people slate Ghost Train, but that might win next week.
So guys, if you know anyone the viewers now that know friends that have ridden on those rides, get them to come and join in as well on the conversation in the chat and like and subscribe.
And on Thursday we've got Scare Seekers coming on at 7 p.m. For thematically speaking, I'll plug that. Does anyone want to? I'll put your links in the description, but I'll go through you one by one. Did James and Sarah want to plug anything before we go?
Oh, I've got loads of new content on the channel. Loads of Disney content and Star Wars and
Tivoli Gardens
on there. We'll be on there soon.
Yeah. So lots of things coming up, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, the recent live which I thought was really good as well.
Yeah,
I
with
really
disability
liked the recent live.
Disneyland. So go check that out.
Really informative. Love that one.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Kieran, what have you got?
Not much coming up, but I've got ScareCon next week. So at Thorpe Park on the 16th and 15th of May. I don't know why I said that the wrong way around. 15th, 16th of May. The convention's on the 16th. So if you are around Thorpe Park, you can get your last tickets now at scaretour.co.uk or scarecon.co.uk. You can find the links for both. We'll be there having a stall this year. We've got lots of new exciting products coming up and an extra surprise as well. It'll be the first time in public one of our models will be seen. So
That's it.
yes, and that's all I'll say on that one. It's going to be a big surprise for everyone, and it's going to be transported in style, shall we say?
On the back of a flatbed, like the Nemesis.
Not quite.
It's going to be in a
Josh,
slammer carriage going round.
If that's the case, trebuchet.
Josh, do you want to tell us about what's coming up on Theme Park Guide? Because you're going to be doing some Jumanji coverage soon, aren't you?
Yeah, so we're at Jumanji on Saturday for the media day. So we're doing a live blog from that. So live.themeparkguide.co.uk. If you want to check us out, we do live updates throughout the whole day. So check us out then. But you can find us on Facebook, Twitter. I think we even have a TikTok, but I'm not responsible of that.
Quite all liability.
We'll be looking up for the TikTok.
And Daryl, do you want to tell us more about Britain's Got Talent?
Yeah, Britain's Got Talent is slightly different this week. It's airing on Sunday this coming week at 20 to 8. So don't forget to check it out. And also as well, I went to Alton Towers yesterday for the last day of the Smiler event. You'll be surprised how good that actually was, to be fair, compared to the previous vlogs that's been online. And so that'll be online, I think, Wednesday this week.
Oh.
And
Thank you all very much. It does seem a bit wrong with Mike not wearing a hat. I will agree with you on that.
I'm not going to wear this. This is a prize we're giving away. I'm going to... we're giving away some prizes from Straight to Video. I'm going to put some information. We're going to put back the date from when you can enter. We're going to elongate the date on that a bit more. But next week it's going to be Ghost Train versus Ramsey's Revenge. And I'm just shocked by what's happened today.
I know, I am.
I was like, either way, and then the discussion we had, and then that, I don't know.
It just flipped around like the slammer.
Exactly.
even brought in a high quality theming from it, and it still doesn't.
Oh, that's what that is. Oh, I thought it was a sleeping bag, to be honest. I thought you needed a cuddle halfway through. I should probably wear my glasses.
Can I just say, Kieran, are you in a pub or something?
No, I'm in my workshop.
Oh, are you? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Like in a pub somewhere, some bar.
Oh, if I was in a pub, that'd be great.
Do you want to do the catchphrase?
So, thank you all for watching.
It,
Please join us again next time. When we
Ghost
be
Train
friends,
versus
get them all to
Ramsey's
join in
Revenge.
as well. It'll be awesome. So we'll see you.
in the review.
That's for now.
We're gone.
Bye.